Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome to the Season 1 recruiting special here in the Charlotte 49ers Dynasty. Now, this season is going to be a lot of fun in recruiting because we have some new rules here in this dynasty. But first, before talking about that, let's just look at the number one player in the high school ranks, DC Raymond at quarterback. He's actually from Boone, North Carolina, the town that Appalachian State resides in. So that's pretty interesting that he is a number one guy and also from Appalachian State City. But he was an All-American and he was just phenomenal this year as a senior. I mean, just look at the All-American practice here. Look at this throw. These are the type of throws he's going to make at the next level as well. And he could easily have a good 3 years and go on to play in the NFL. Now, he is the number one recruit, but he is looking at South Carolina, surprising the entire nation. South Carolina over Clemson and Alabama. Appalachian State isn't even being considered. And then last episode, we looked at Rochester Carmichael. He is number 3 overall. Also, the teammate of DC Raymond, Rock Carmichael. Considering going to Alabama, he has verbally committed there. He has not signed a letter of intent, but he is committed there right now, and we'll have to see how that unfolds. Now, let's just talk about the recruiting rules going into this series. Now, I have some rules set up just so that, it's not as easy to get, top guys, and it's also not, boring as well. So first two rules are kind of self-explanatory. Cannot recruit players above the current prestige. We're 2-star, can't recruit above 2-star, no JUCOs, and pipeline only recruiting. So that means I can only go for 2-star max in non-home state. So that means that outside of North Carolina, I can only go at 2-star. Have to be in preseason top 5. That's easy. Can only add prospects before the preseason, and if a prospect or a current player does not start by season 3, that player will transfer within the conference. So pretty much if we recruit somebody and they don't play within 3 years, they are going to transfer. I'm going to force them to transfer, and that is going to how it's going to be here going in recruiting. I like those rules right now. They are subject to change, and I want to make it so that it's not boring to recruit, but it's also not something that I just low lock cheese at all the 5 stars, 4 stars. I don't want it like that. Also, I don't want it to be crippling for 1 stars, because 1-star recruiting is very, very boring because nobody goes after 1 stars. It's just no competition. So looking at the seniors this year, we have plenty of them. So we're going to have to replace them all in recruiting as we hop into our recruiting board. Our top recruit is Joelle Johnson. He is very, very athletic as a cornerback, very smart as well. A good man cover corner. That is his calling card. He is one of the best man corners we are, at least man-to-man defenders we are recruiting this year, and he could easily start day one. I'm excited for him. Now, these recruits will be renamed. Most of them will. There's a couple of them that won't, and I'll note them as we go through them. But Joelle Johnson will be renamed. He's one of those guys that will be renamed, and he is honestly so good on the outside. I can't wait to get him in here. I feel like, our only outside corner that's truly an outside is Vincent Youngblood right now. He's doing really good as a sophomore. But Joelle Johnson, he has officially called us and let us know that he will be committing to our school. So I'm excited about him. He commits to us over Duke and Northwestern. So next, let's look at one of the guys that won't be renamed. This is an actual custom recruit from you guys. Benjamin Duke, 5'6" receiving back. I love what he can do with the ball. He's awesome just with the ball in space. He's pretty quick. He's not like lightning fast, but he's pretty quick. And one thing I like about him is that he is going to be on shotgun formations. He's going to make you miss in open field. He doesn't have the greatest of ball carrier vision at all. He's not going to be a guy that's going to tote the rock like Terrence Pitt Howard does. But you give him a couple carries a game, he's going to do his thing. He's also going to be an awesome receiving back, something that we don't have right now on the roster. So let's just look at the guy that could be our top recruit if Joelle Johnson was not on our board. Micah Mitchell, a very good right tackle. I mean, he is a day one starter. He's going to come in right away and start at either tackle, probably right tackle. That's where he played in high school, but he is an awesome run blocker, and he's also decent blocker for the pass. But one thing about him, he's got good technique. And that's one thing that we lack on the offensive line. We let through a lot of guys with pressures, and just picking up our, blitzes and stuff like that. We definitely need to work on that going forward. Now, Demarcus Forte is an awesome outside linebacker. I really, really love him. He is one of the guys that will not be renamed, and he is just instinctive. He recognizes plays well. His coverage skills aren't the greatest, but I think he makes up for that with his smarts on the field. He is just a born leader. I think he's going to be a guy that's going to make an impact right away, just with his playmaking. It's not going to be, uber athletic. It's not going to be, jumping off the screen, but he's just going to be in the right places at the right time. That's just the type of player he is. I can't wait to see him on campus. We are the top school, so I'm guessing that he will end up committing to Charlotte. Now, we're a bad team when we're talking about kicker here in the recruiting special. Antoine Morris is a number 29 ranked kicker. He's got awesome kick power at 80. That's actually way higher than what we currently have, and we really need it because I can't nail long field goals right now. I can't even nail 45-yarders, and I'm going to need a kicker to kind of build upon. And honestly, I do have a junior kicker and punter right now, so I could even redshirt him. Now, I said I would redshirt one guy on offense, one guy on defense. I might actually add one guy on special team as well, and that'll be 3 total I can redshirt in a year. But now let's look at the final guy here that we will look at highlights for, Richard Holmes. He's a very good defensive tackle, but he has to develop some more. I think he's about 2 years from playing. Now, he's one of those guys that could go up against that, 3-year threshold of if he doesn't start, he could transfer. That could end up being Richard Holmes. I'm not sure, but he's a good developmental tackle. He also played some end in high school, so we will have to see how the development with him goes. Now let's look at our full recruiting board here. And Joelle Johnson did commit, but so did our center, Brandon Ross. Now, we are going to be graduating Nolan Steeples at center. Now, he has been our starting center. I wouldn't say he's doing well, but I need a guy that's going to have to really step in and start day one. Brandon Ross could be that guy. And then we miss out on Joseph Reed, who was a good defensive tackle. He ends up going to another in-state school in Wake Forest. Now let's get to the rest of the guys. Benjamin Duke is, like I said, is going to be a receiving back. He's not going to be impressive when he runs the ball between the tackles, but he's going to be a guy that you really get out into space. He's 5'6", 177. I mean, he is small. He's going to have to really use that size advantage because he's going to slip through tackles quite a bit being that small. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. We're in the lead for him. As well as Micah Mitchell. He's going to be a very good run blocker. He doesn't have the awesome impact block, but I think he's going to be a well-balanced tackle. Very, very good technique, like I said. And he's very smart. He's a 3.5 student as well. He's going to be a guy that's going to be a very good leader on the offensive line. Now, Demarcus Forte, I love Demarcus Forte. Just very, very smart. His playing time is an A+ right now. I think he could play pretty much in his freshman year. I'm not sure if he'll start, but I guess we'll have to see. I'm sure down the road he will definitely be a starter. Probably by year 2, I say he's 100% going to be a starter. But right now, I think he's going to be a guy that's going to rotate in. I like that for him in that role because he really has to learn. I mean, these guys all have to learn how to play the position at the college level. So we'll have to see how he develops. Now, Antoine Morris is a good kicker. Accuracy is low, but I guess that doesn't really matter when you're kicking kicks. Actually, it kind of does. The meter is a little bit smaller, but it doesn't really affect you too much. But I do like him. 71 overall kicker as a freshman. I'll take it. Now, at safety, Grant Lindsay. I like this kid just because of his hit power right there at 74. Could he be the guy I redshirt? Because remember, like I said, I redshirt one freshman on offense and defense. Could he be that guy? I like his developmental skills. Now, I do have a graduating safety right now. We have a couple of older guys too. Marlon Lambert and Kevin Scott are the 2 elder statesmen in the safety class, and I'm going to need some backup safeties for them. So, Vincent Butler is a good fullback. I always need fullback. Blake Bortles is a senior. He's our fullback. He's graduating. But how about Marcus Olson? He's interesting. I'm not really sure what he's going to be. 57 overall. He's got some developing to do. But like I said, if these guys don't end up starting, Marcus Olson is going to be starting at 50s overall, probably like 57, 58. I haven't unlocked all the ratings yet. But if he does not start, remember, by year 3, they automatically transfer. Now, John Simon is a good guard, and I do need offensive line. Looking at him, his impact block goes up to 70. I like that a lot because I will want to run the ball between the tackles a little bit better. I have been struggling so far to run the ball between the tackles. It's been a lot of good vision from Terrence Pitt-Howard, but our blocking hasn't really been opening up holes, and that's one thing I want to do in our running game. Now, James Williams is a tackle. Right now, I do have a scholarship out to him. I don't really know what the future of his, outlook of his future, I should say, is going to be with this offensive line. He's not very good right now. He does need some polishing, and we'll have to see with him. Brett Jefferson is very good. I like him on the offensive line in the future. And then Cedric Harris is a good center. And we do have a center already committed, so I haven't offered him a scholarship yet. I'm going to wait to see how the guards and tackles play out on our board, but we'll see how it goes with him. He is 62 overall. And like I said, I want to recruit fairly and realistically. A lot of guys don't really recruit starters at the same position, so I'm going to relax on him and see what happens. Richard Holmes right now, we're going to see how it goes with him. He's very, very good. I think as a future of our defensive tackle unit. He's not really James Brett. James Brett is a senior on the defensive line right now. He is a strong, massive man. Richard Holmes is the opposite, to be honest. He's more of an athletic defensive tackle out of Hamlet, North Carolina. We'll have to see how that goes. But, I really, really like our recruiting board. We won't go over the full board because I want to reveal more athletes as we go on in the season and then show you guys, like I said, we're not adding new guys to the board, but I don't want to show you the full board. I want to cover, some about the top 15, 16 guys right now, and then we will reveal the rest later as the season goes on with more recruiting stories, things like that. And I think that's what we're going to do here. So like I said, you guys will later in the season submit recruits, not right now, but you will replace most of those guys. There's Demarcus Forte and Benjamin Duke. Those are the only two that will not be renamed. But now we head into conference play. It's going to be just very interesting now. We played a 4-game sample size, and we see how we're doing, and you see our weaknesses now and our strengths. And I think that we look good for the future, but I'm looking forward to the next recruiting class. Checking out Appalachian State, they are 1-2 on the season, and you can just see their first win came last week to UAB. They won by 10. So we will continue conference play, or we will start conference play, I should say, going up against Southern Miss, UTEP, Tulane, and Middle Tennessee State. I think the first game will probably be a single game episode, and then I will go doubleheader, probably back to back. I guess we'll have to see how that goes. But I'm excited to get into conference play. I wonder how we're going to measure up against our conference teams because, non-conference, you can obviously see the difference between, us and, the teams ahead of us, like NC State, Oklahoma, like those guys like that. And I'm looking forward to playing Southern Miss, UTEP, Tulane, all these conference teams. So hit subscribe, hit that like button. Hope you guys enjoyed the recruiting special. We will continue conference play next episode, so stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.